So you want to see me and my dad brave the Tiger Rock lift hill climb? This is the right video for you. Hi, I'm Will, aka Will-A-Pedia, and today we're going to be seeing Tiger Rock from a whole new perspective.
We're going to be looking down from the top.
Yeah! We've just come to the VIP experiences box thing inside the hotel, opposite of the Safari Bar and Grill in the Safari Hotel. That's where you're going to need to meet for the Tiger Rock VIP experiences. I believe it's the same for the other ones as well. Today we're going to be doing this at 6:30. Any thoughts?
We've just literally wafted our food down in order to get
we were eating at the Temple Restaurant Bar and Grill.
And now we're sitting here waiting to go and do some stuff that might bring the food back up, perhaps.
Yeah, but we're not exactly going to be on the ride, so yeah. We won't be going down the waterfall.
Yeah, but we're going to be looking down from the top, so who knows?
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I believe they're going to tell us some stuff about the ride, and so we'll show you all we can. If we're going in the op cabin, I don't think we'll be able to film in there.
Will they let us push a few buttons?
Probably not.
What is the op cabin?
It's a theme park term, technical term, whatever you want to say, for an operator's cabin. So basically...
So, are they going to let us press some buttons if we go in there?
No.
Watch the video.
Because they don't want you to start the ride. Okay, but...
Who knows? We might end up,
he might press buttons, so you might want to keep watching to find out if he presses buttons. Because he probably will.
If there's a big red button, it needs to be pressed.
Oh no. I think you're going to get banned from the resort if you press those buttons. Evicted. Yeah, bye-bye. They don't want you starting the ride up and crashing the logs into the whatever.
The logs?
Yeah, the logs.
You mean the
log? The ride.
The log up and over the log?
The logs is in the ride vehicle.
Oh, that log. Well,
yeah.
We'll see. What about the tigers?
But
poor tigers.
Yeah, but we're not going. Right, I don't actually. We might see the tigers. I don't actually know.
The tigers be
There's
running,
not too much information about it, but that's why we're doing this video.
Will the tigers be running loose around? Will they even be able to get up the stairs with us to do the track walk?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out. So just receive these plastic thingy to hold your phone in, and also you're allowed to use the GoPros, so we can take you along with us. We just won't be able to show you in the op cam, but we'll show you everything else. Yeah, it's literally just us on this tour. There's no other guest.
We're breaking into the park now.
Oh, with the help of some staff.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like when there's no one around. To be fair, it is commitment that they're still playing the music even when there's no one here. That's just nice. We're approaching Land of the Tiger now.
And there's the tiger, look.
Yeah. What? Imagine you could still pay for the £2. Look, the trough is completely empty. There's no water in it. The Land of the Tigers. The lovely little views of an empty park.
It was quickly renamed to Dragon Falls, which was a ride, it was very similar to Tiger Rock, but with dragon theming to go with the Mystic East theming. But that was changed in 2016 and turned into Tiger Rock. They changed all the theming pieces. As you see just here, there's that block there. That used to be a tunnel that was shaped like a dragon. Up until this season, that stood there. They just repainted it and it looked like a rock tunnel. From certain angles, you could definitely see that was a dragon. Also, if you look at the tiger head, you might also see there are still some remnants of the dragon still. Also, the site of one of our biggest rides here at Chessington, which was called Peking Heights. Peking Heights was originally not Chessington. We originally had a ride called Samurai. You've probably heard of that name before, as that ride is at Fort Park now. Yeah. So Samurai was a bit too scary for our family-friendly vibes that we wanted here at Chessington, whereas Peking Heights was a bit too family-friendly for Fort Park. So what we did was we swapped them round. They took Samurai, which still is there today, which they've actually just repainted into the original colours, and we took Peking Heights, where it sat here until they decided to theme this into Land of the Tiger, where it was moved to put the tiger enclosures in.
I think I saw something on YouTube about them taking the cladding off the tunnel as well.
Oh, yeah, so the tunnel has now been removed. So the old dragon tunnel until this season was original, and it had been there since 1987. But for this season, now the tunnel has been removed, and they've got the new tunnel there. It doesn't look as good, I don't think. I do miss the old one, but it has been removed now.
Yeah. I think you've got to retire some things eventually.
So firstly, I'm going to show you these little buttons here. These are called the emergency stops. In case of emergency, the operator would slam on them. They wouldn't press them, they would slam on them, and it would stop the boat immediately. Pressing this one will immediately stop the boats, whereas this one would drain the tanks. And you might also see there's a little key lock in here. The reason for that is because once an emergency stop has been pressed, the only people who can turn the ride back on is an engineer. So the ride hosts aren't able to do it themselves. They have to wait for an engineer to come down, fix whatever the problem is, and then when they're happy, they will unlock it and the ride can start again. If you see over here, this panel would flash up with whatever was wrong with the ride, but because Dragon River and Tiger Rock was made by Heinrich Mack, which is a German engineering company. It would actually come up in German. So all of the engineers had to learn German so they could know what was going on with the ride, which, I mean, was quite a lot of hassle.
Yeah.
Luckily our one today does not come up in German, it comes up in English, so it's a lot easier for them. If you notice here, you might notice these squiggly lines. They are actually the same of the ride. So this shows us the ride layout and the ride track. You may see there's also some lights here. These are all the places that a ride vehicle could possibly stop. So if a boat does stop, it would light up so they know immediately where everyone is and if there's multiple boats stopped in a certain area.
Which one do I press?
The red one. Go on, press the red one.
It feels weird. It's like, I feel like I'm in like the Oceaneer Club and on the cruise, you know, where you can press all the buttons and then you
This is the old control, just for the record.
Yeah, it's not the real
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels nice. Just pressing buttons. I like
You
it.
like that? And there's the route.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the track.
Wait, which bit? Wait. Actually, no, I can probably figure this out. That's the left hill. Oh wait, that's the station. It's labelled. Ah, I was trying to find the station, but it was already labelled. Alright, I'm gonna slam this down now. Just went into the new op cabin. We weren't allowed to film in there, but I'll summarise it for you. Basically, they talked about how the ride works and stuff, and about how they operate it, maximum wind speeds and all that. Very cool information stuff. Yeah, it was quite interesting. Now I think we're gonna climb up the left hill. What's a bit high, doesn't it? Alright, we're gonna be climbing up this now. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see the boats just alongside you.
These are called anti-rollbacks. They basically do what they say. They stop the boat from rolling back if in case of a stop. They're that classic click-click sound that you hear on lobsters. You can actually count how many anti-rollbacks there are by counting how many clicks there are.
I always thought it was just the lift hill chain thing.
No, it's the anti-rollback. So it's every time it touches the boat, you hear a click.
Right?
Good use.
So this here is the trough. As you can see, they have actually drained the trough today.
Yeah.
They don't always drain it every night, so it's quite rare to see it drain.
Yeah.
It's not like self-drained, it is physically.
No,
drained.
they will drain it every now and again,
Right.
but it doesn't drain every day. So right below us is Tomb Blaster.
Tomb Blast.
As you can see, it's a lot bigger than people think it is. People think the ride's quite
Yeah.
small. All of this building here is Tomb Blaster. It makes it feel not as high because looking down at this building just below us. So Tomb Blaster opened as Fifth Dimension in 1987, same time as this opened as Dragon River. It was quickly changed to Terror Tomb, which was an ancient Egypt themed dark ride, not yet with the lasers. The lasers were added in 2002 when this was changed over into Tomb Blaster as we know it today, which was a laser themed adventure where you got to shoot scarabs, which it's today, but the theme has been changed. And so if you look just there, you can see Croc Drop
We're almost high up as that. Like we're almost.
yes, really.
What are those tall buildings in the distance then?
So that over there is London. You might be able to see the Shard if you look.
Blimey.
Trying to see where the is, you might be able to see it. So yeah, that is the London skyline.
I don't know if you can see it on the
then.
camera, but London.
Well, some people say you can see Hyperion, but I
I
never
can
see
see
Hyperion
it.
personally. Croc Drop used to be a ride called Ramesses Revenge. It used to sit in the exact same place as Croc Drop. That's why Croc Drop's going to be dug down, because we're in what's called a green belt. So us and Alton Towers are green belts. It means we cannot build above the tree levels, so you cannot be able to see it from the road.
I didn't know you had that as well. Like,
we
I
do,
thought that was
yes.
just Alton Towers.
Fort Park does not have it, because
Yeah.
Fort Park is technically an island, which is why they're allowed to build very high roller coasters like Hyperia. There is 2 rides here that do go slightly above our green belt. We have Croc Drop over there, and we have, you can actually see the bit that goes above the green belt just there on Mandrill Mayhem.
Okay.
The reason why we can get away with that is because of the colouring of them. This sort of brown colour and that green colour. These are colours that your eyes do not like to see. So it tricks your eyes into thinking they're actually part of the surrounding. It is a Merlin version of Disney's Go Away Green. It's not the exact same colour as Disney's Go Away Green. But it's a colour that scientifically your eyes do not like to see it, so your eyes will ignore it, because it doesn't look
It's
like
here,
a ride.
so
If it
wouldn't
was
have gone
very
too far.
obviously a ride,
It's only a small part as well.
yeah,
not
it's only
a-
like the top, and then
Yeah.
that one can only be seen from a garden centre around,
Yeah.
like down the corner, and it looks like a tree, like
Yeah.
it looks blending in, so it's not obvious that it's a roller coaster, because also the coaster doesn't get all the way to the top either, so you can't see the people on it either.
Is that why the croc thing then go all the way up?
Yeah, so and engineers can actually climb all the way to the top and poke out the top of that, which is quite cool.
Nice.
So as the trees are growing, the park can grow then.
No, yeah. It's actually something that Alton Towers have done. I can't remember what the name of the tree is, but they've got a really tall tree, one of the tallest trees in the world, and they put it next to some of their really high coasters.
Fair enough.
They do, yeah, they do what we do. We do that as well.
Yeah.
But it was quite a clever way of them actually being like, we can build higher because this tree is higher than us.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do what we do. We dig under, so we go down to go up. A very good one to point that out is over there, which is Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake looks like quite a small ride walking past it. It's not, it does go a lot deeper than people think, and it's actually quite bigger than people think as well.
Okay.
So that's a perfect example of our green belt here.
The construction in Wild-A-Dia as well. You can see like Monkey Swinger has been completely
Yeah, I heard about that.
reconstructed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
removed.
quite a lot is.
So it's over there, isn't it? Right.
This is actually really rare. This top is completely drained. Normally,
I know,
this is
so,
the only
yeah.
part of the ride. Yeah, it doesn't drain, but they would have. Tiger Rock was down all day. We're not sure why, but due to some technical problems, so that's probably why they got rid of all the water.
So if it's like a pump or something, you've had it, haven't you? You can't really run without
Yeah,
that.
you need
Yeah.
a few days to get that. at
Yeah,
least.
sometimes like with things like this, they need to order something from
Yeah.
Mac. Take a few days to roll.
You guys can move down a bit more.
It's pretty cool.
This is as far as we can go, guys.
Oh, hi, camera.
Just in case anyone sees that. I talked about it a little bit, but over there is our World of Jumanji. It was actually nicknamed Project Amazon before we could announce that it was World of Jumanji. A little hint to what it was. It actually holds 2 world records. It's the first ever Jumanji themed roller coaster and the first ever Jumanji themed land. That opened in nearly 2 years ago now, in 2023. It offers 3 different rides: Mandrill Mayhem, I was about to say Crop Drop's over there,
Yeah.
Mammoth Strikes and Ostrich Stampede. Did you guys manage to get on any of those?
Oh, I went on all of them.
So it's our only inversion ride we have here at the moment at Chessington. It does offer that sort of thrill, but also still has the kind of buffer between not being too scary. So it's like a step up to Fort Park. So like you can do Vampire, you can do Mandrill Mayhem, and then you're ready to start doing some of the more thrill coasters at Fort Park, and then Alton Towers.
Yeah.
So Vampire and Mandrill Mayhem actually go the exact same speed. They actually both go 45 miles per hour, but Vampire feels a lot slower because it swings, which counteracts the lateral G-force, whereas Mandrill Mayhem is a launch coaster. So it launches you, you can feel all of it. And Mandrill Mayhem is actually shorter than the Vampire. Vampire goes to 70 foot tall at its tallest point, whereas Mandrill goes to 66 foot. It just looks a lot taller because it's on flat ground. You can see straight up, whereas Vampire you cannot see the tallest point, so it doesn't look as tall. We also have, you can see a little bit behind me there, we have our tiger enclosure. It's actually a European first, state of the art. A lot of these come and actually have a look at ours. The reason why it's a European first is because it has bridges above, as you saw as we walked past, bridges above people and also below. There's also a bridge, there's a bridge that goes under this bit here, so the tigers can walk to different points. There's actually 4 parts to this enclosure. There's 3 that are on show, 1 that is not on show, so the tigers can choose they don't want to be on show, as well as an indoor area, and we can separate the tigers if we want to. We've got 2 at the moment, 2 females, and they're not best friends, they don't overly like each other, so they do get separated, but we can actually choose to put them in different sides if we want to, so they will never see each other unless they're inside, but they won't actually go in the same area as each other. So they can switch over where they want to go, so they get different environments at different times.
You used to do glamping as well, didn't you?
We did, yes. So glamping was right down there by Wild-A-Dia. The reason it's closed is because it was part of Wild-A-Dia.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll come back as something else, maybe not, whenever that new theming is announced. But yeah, because it was attached to Wild-A-Dia, it had to go because it would become quite obvious what that area is going to be, because if you're glamping there, you have to walk through it to get through, which wouldn't overly be too safe.
Now, this experience so far has actually been like really good. Like I've learned so much. There's so much information that's been given. Like,
It's very interesting.
yes, definitely.
But lots of the back. Maybe we could try and remember it now, haven't we?
Yeah, that's the challenge.
Toon Blaster would be okay without Tiger Rock because it's obviously below us, but whereas Tiger Rock is like
It's
the
actually
supports of Toon
on,
Blaster, so
yeah.
reliant on each other.
They also have to, these here, they're fans, so like air vents. If they turn them on in Toon Blaster, they actually have to tell Tiger Rock because it actually makes a sound over there. So they have to ring them up and go, just to let you know, hi, we're putting them on, in case they panic and go, what's happened?
Yeah.
It's just them. So they are really intertwined to each other.
So I was going to say, last season we kept seeing like sunglasses and stuff like on top of the roof, but people would have had to bump them from their boat, and I don't know how they would have possibly done that and why.
It wouldn't put it past me that people decided to launch the sunglasses.
Why not? You'll see what happens.
Yeah. Only for them to realise it just
But oh no,
get stuck there.
it's
So
stuck.
those are the wind meters up there then?
Yeah, those over there,
What are we?
the ones that are doing their little twirls.
Can this run in the dark? Or?
Yeah,
They can operate after.
Right.
They have some floodlights, those matter on there.
Yeah.
And the CCTV as well, which the operator has to watch,
yeah.
has like a night vision mode. So it is still fine to operate after dark.
In Halloween sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's just maybe depends on how cold it gets. Would be
Yeah.
the main reason that they wouldn't be able to operate after dark. But yeah, most of our rides can operate when it gets dark. It's mainly the ones like this, like River Rafts, where it relies on the operator
Yeah.
watching guests. Where that would be the only concern. But no, there's huge lights to ensure it can still run.
I saw Mandel Mayhem. I tried booking it, but there wasn't any like availability
Anything
on
that
it.
doesn't exist.
It's-
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did once as
Yeah.
a trial, and then,
Yeah.
but hopefully should be coming back very soon. Maybe in time for one for Andrew's second birthday. But that's a hopeful if we can get it back up and running.
fingers
But yeah,
crossed.
hopefully we should be able to do that again.
Have to keep an eye out.
A crop drop wouldn't really work, would it?
Yeah.
Because it's a drop tower. It's
There's a
like-
ladder in the tower.
Yeah, you just go in there and
Yeah.
They
drop
climb it
climb,
up,
yeah, drop
climbing.
climb.
Again, you'll have to be one at a time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Could be abseiling. We could abseil down crop drop.
yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Parachute off the top.
Parachute.
I've seen about Gruffalo behind the scenes, but I don't know
Yeah.
if
That, maybe.
people would be that interested. Like, as in there's almost with Tomb Lost, so there are like a few Easter eggs from Fifth Dimension and Terror Tomb, so there's quite a lot of history.
Yeah,
But whereas Bubbleworks was completely everything gone. I was trying to think of what we could do, but obviously we have a few roller coasters, but then climbing them is, the issue of how many people.
But maybe
are
it'll be
going up
interesting
there.
when the new land's open. Maybe you could do something for them.
Yeah, definitely. You land behind
On
the
the
scenes.
newer stuff, you're probably going to have more like gangways like this.
Yeah,
just,
definitely.
Just for maintenance.
Oh, that's Dragon's Fury.
Yeah, that's Fury.
It's so loud in this.
It's I've done River Rafts first.
The
normally
footage,
do.
you've done everything you want to do.
Something interesting about
You
Dragon's
actually
Fury,
recording
and
it?
actually a lot of the rides here, is you'll notice
Yeah.
Dragon's Fury wobbles quite often, the support. It's for a reason. It's because the pressure of the cars going round at a speed would put too much, like almost pressure on the support beam, so they would snap. So they have to wobble. Some skyscrapers are built to wobble for that reason. When I was in rides, I feel like all the time someone would come up and they'd be like, "My kids are on the ride and it's just wobbled." I'm like, it's okay, it's meant to do that for a reason.
Spinball's the same, isn't it?
Yeah, they're actually sister coasters,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
both.
Yeah, very similar, aren't they?
I actually talked to John Wardley about that, about how they are literally the same ride layout, but Spinball wasn't. They had no space, so they had to condense it, like really small. But the actual layout of the track is pretty much the same. But Dragon's Fury was able to do it over a wider area, whereas Spinball wasn't. They had no space, so they just had to
It's just
fit it in a little square.
it's that feeling that you're in that car, and it's like you can't see the track really, and just doing all these mental things.
I feel like I've got my hack for spinning down pat now. If you like do it uneven, so like two on one side, one on the other, and then the two on one side, lean really far forward. That's what I think makes you spin. But that's from my many test rides in the morning and evening. But I might be lying. Everyone try it out. Disprove
So
my
that makes
theory.
sense. If you puke, you won't get so much on yourself.
Thank you to the team for doing the Tiger Rock climb. There you go. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
It's pretty cool, really. Oh yeah. Does Legoland have any track walks? I haven't actually checked.
Legoland has, I don't know if it's launched yet, but I know they definitely spoke about
Sorry, we just take you off
doing
the
the
get in,
dragon.
yeah.
So their roller coaster. And then there was another one as well.
They do, or at one point, have done the dragon.
They do, but there was another one they launched at the same time, and I can't remember what ride it was. But they definitely do the dragon coaster walk, maybe coaster climb, not too sure.
Okay.
And then there's another one that they did as well. They also do in their, I think it's called Atlantis, they launch a sort of submarine. And they do feeding sharks as well there. Yeah, and then there's another track walk, but I'm not too sure which ride it is.
You said that these boats were 1987, so they are the same boats that engineers have replaced bits and pieces.
They're in good state. Like the wheels. Yeah.
You can see them.
The anti-rollback.
Yeah, anti-rollback things, yeah.
So it pushes past them to go in, but once they've gone past, they open. So that's just stuck on the rubber mat. But if it was full of people, it would want to come back.
That's
with
what
water.
makes them really loud noise. They're conveyor belts.
So they're like springs, aren't they? Are they like?
Yeah, they
like,
spring back.
Yeah, like not like gently.
You could push it. There's a lot of stuff going on with rollers.
I like seeing all this
So much
shit.
going on, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't get seen.
It must be massive pumps running this to move that amount of water.
And probably even more at the top as well, because
No, you can't just turn the tap on.
Thames water for you guys. Is that an old one?
yeah, I think this is from one of the.
It was from the like
the vent ice.
yeah, by Tube Blaster, yeah. Quite cool.
Oh, yeah. That was them last.
Sponsored by Fanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it used to be where they sold the Fanta things.
That makes
I think
sense.
they got moved here because they got rid of that.
Yeah. I suppose it doesn't really matter where it goes. 'Cause
Yeah, but they were like, put it somewhere, throw it out, and be like,
put it somewhere. Oh yeah.
So they can open the ride tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
down here. But you can see them from foot level.
I think that's the idea though.
No,
Hide
they're
them
all
away.
stored in there, and then it will
Is this the reservoir here then?
That they don't use this water.
go around the back of there.
So they must have a massive amount of water
Yeah,
somewhere.
there
so-
is,
Oh yeah, they are on the service road. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was completely forgetting. This is our service road. You can see there's like a huge like water
Right.
tank, which is their
Okay.
source. Yeah, but no, this one in the lake by the big drop don't actually like connect with the ride. I don't think that water is upkept.
Soon, like when they drain, it will go back in.
Yeah.
And it will filter back out. Make sure it's nice and clean.
Yeah, it looks quite interesting really. To think that we were just up there. Like, crazy. And for much longer than it would normally be. But like, a lot longer. So yeah, very fun experience. And now we're going to do a bit of walking back. So it's technically not over yet, but yeah. Actually, time check. It is... Alright, just to give you an idea, the experience takes about an hour, and I think by the time we walk back, it'll be about an hour 15 minutes experience. So just bear in mind. We got the big statue from 1987. Just think, like this park is 38. The theme park is 38 years old. The zoo's much older. Yeah.
So it used to be like a private collection. 1934? 34, yeah, 1934.
34.
Yeah, originally it was just like a private collection, and it was just a guy showing his animals.
Yeah, we do an after-hours tour of the park where this is what we talk about, like the history of the park itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. That was a private collection. And then during the Second World War, they had to move the animals because
That
of
makes
us being in such close proximity to London. They were
Yeah.
so they moved them to Devon, and it became Chessington and Devon Zoo, and,
Right.
and like
Ah.
merged together. But we did actually have a polar bear who was here during the war, and in a tree in his enclosure, a bomb landed, and it like detonated, and Jack the polar bear flew against the wall, and he was still for 2 days. The keepers thought he had passed away, but they couldn't actually go in because of the risk for bombing. But then he got up and moved again, and he was fine.
And he lived like quite well after.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Survived
yeah.
with trauma at the castle. Yeah, that's the story. So this theme park is 91 years old. If you go down to its roots, like proper,
Yeah,
like
so-
since the zoo, 91 years.
They're all named after Cadbury's chocolate bars because
they?
Cadbury's were at the same time
Yeah.
as we got these guys. So they're called Chomp, Curly Whirly, Twirl and Crunchy.
We did very briefly do a capybara experience, and then they got ill. Like nothing severe, but just to the point where we didn't want people going in there,
fair
and they still haven't recovered. So
Yeah.
they did get well enough.
So wait, so is
This is a different park.
this connected to Jungle Ranger?
Yeah, this is like backing on.
Oh.
My boys, I love them so much.
You can smell them from out here.
Yeah, you can literally smell they are stinky. The species of tortoise was
So
around
cute.
the same time as the dinosaurs. So they've
wow.
been around a long time.
How
They only
long,
lived
how long
about.
have these guys been here?
I'm not entirely sure. They were all transferred from different
They're not like
different
original.
zoos. No, so none of them were born here. 3 of them were from other zoos, and then 2 of them were from a private collection, which meant someone owned them as pets.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of tortoises get sold as pets, and people think they're an easy one.
Yeah.
They're really not. They can dig quite deep down, and they like would go underneath, like into the neighbour's
Yeah.
garden.
Yeah,
And then they're
yeah.
also sold as normal tortoises, and then there's round grown.
How long does it take them to get that size?
So the biggest one is Belle, and Belle is 15 years old.
That's why those gates weren't like I don't know. I didn't notice the gates as such when we were down here earlier. The rainforest. And it's always a different atmosphere when there's people here.
I got these for you guys as well if you'd like them. I've
Oh.
got the VIP pop badges.
Oh yeah.
Would you like
fine.
one?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah?
thank you.
And I got one for you as
And
well.
thank you.
lanyards as well.
As if,
Yeah.
if the experience wasn't already worth it. Nice. What, another one to add to the lanyard.
Yeah. Oh, if you go to guest house and installation, because we don't have too many. Yeah, that would be the place that has them. They do. We don't really manufacture them anymore. We have what we have.
Yeah.
Whereas Legoland, they're everywhere. Because it's plastic, they can.
That actually makes sense.
We're phasing them out
Yeah.
for environmental reasons, is what I say.
We still have some and part of what they have in there.
And we're back out. I want to make it like actually out of the park.
Now
Step.
we're out of the
And now we're out of the park. Trespassers notice, of course. temple restaurant. I think that's closed. No, there's still people there. I think the entertainment's ended though, from the looks of it. So now let's get to the good stuff, all the little hidden details. Everything you get included, prices and more. So to start with, we got pop badges, as you just saw, and also lanyards as well, where we get to keep the things in. I'm not entirely sure if that's for everyone, but that's what we got. And that was for the price for us. It was £36 per person, and that's if you have an annual pass. It doesn't matter which annual pass it is, as long as it's Chessington or Merlin, obviously. Or if you're staying in the hotel, and you can't use both because that would be cheating. £45 though for if you don't have an annual pass or like hotel or whatever. But £36 is really good for something like this. You also get to see the op cabins, both the old and new ones, and go up the big Tiger Rock one. I thought we might have gone up the small one, but yeah, that's what I'm here for, to tell you that you don't do that. You do the big one, not the small one. Big, yes. Small, no. All right, now all the stuff you need to know. Now there's all the details. No harness. There's no harness. You just walk up the stairs. It doesn't actually take you too high up. Like, you don't feel that high up. You're there, and you got the big Tomb Blaster building down below, so it's like you don't actually see the ground. Like, you get the good views without feeling scared of heights. It's also only available on off-peak days. From what I've seen, it's available on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and it's generally at 6:30. But it could be like 6 o'clock or something. But most days that I've seen is 6:30. Yeah, and the park closes at 5. It could get delayed if Tiger Rock for some reason was on more than an hour and a half wait. Or like an hour wait. So yeah, bear that in mind as well. Also, make sure to eat before or after. Don't forget about that, because you're not going to eat. So since it lasts about an hour, 15 to an hour and a half, then you are going to want to eat probably before or after. So just remember to do that. And that's between 5 and 6:30, and then also between 8 and onwards. So yeah, just remember that. And also the restaurants, they are open for a bit after 8, but not too long. So just keep that in mind. And also with the pricing thing, £36, it doesn't matter how much, even if you get 10% off, it's still 20% off, which is really good for that. And you meet in the VIP experiences area in the Safari Hotel, where the big reception is, and there's like giraffes and stuff. Yeah, that's if you meet in the main hotel, the VIP experience lobby, it is definitely good value. I keep saying that, but like, it's good. Up to 10 people can experience it, but there must be at least 2 people doing it. So like, you can't be the only person doing it, because that's not how it works. You got to have at least 2 people and a maximum of 10, and that's for everyone doing it on that particular time. So if, say, there's 9 people, you can be the one filler, but if there's no one on the experience yet, then you're going to have to get to 2 people before it can be booked, if you get what I mean. Yeah. Okay. And it's on the Chessington website, you book it, and anyone under 7 can't do it. So, sorry, under 7-year-olds, you cannot experience the Tiger Rock VIP experience until you're at least 7. And you have to be within 16 plus if you're between 7 and 16. And theme park entry not included, just saying. And now finally, the hidden benefits. We talk about the park quite a bit, at least from our experience, and Tomb Blaster. That is a bit of a hidden benefit. Could be more personalised if you were on your own, just like in a pair, just like I was with my dad. You do see quite a bit of the park after hours. You'd be surprised. And it's quite cool, because Tiger Rock, since it's at the back end, and they take you in via the hotel entrance, you get to walk all the way down there. So you get to see basically half the park, all just after hours. It's amazing. And definitely do not miss as a theme park enthusiast. Overall, very fun experience. Would recommend, and it is, just bear in mind, one of the cheaper experiences. Like, the other ones can be more expensive. If you're just getting into it, it's probably a good one to start on. I mean, it was for us. We might be doing more walk experiences if we get the chance one day. That sounds like a good idea, so I think we'll think about doing more at some point. Anyways, good. Very fun. Subscribe. Notifications on. And I shall see you in some other video, probably the Chessington one I'm going to put on screen, yeah. Of the days before, not day 1 and day 2. Goodbye. Ooh.